Guys, we've got the Ted Jones Comedy Show Thursday, January 19th, 8 p.m. at the new Moxie Hotel, Lower East Side, 145 Bowery Street. Get your tickets in this YouTube video, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys are listening to this episode.
Yes.
Get your tickets. It's going to be a sick show. On to the episode.
What's up, Ted Jones World Podcast? Today, very special guest.
Yes.
Sam Santos.
That's me.
Sam, you and I haven't spoken that much, but I imagine today is going to be a great episode because you're a bubbly person.
Yes, I think so.
No, I think
I am hanging by a thread today. I'm on 4 hours of sleep, so forgive me.
4 hours?
Yeah, it was a night.
I feel like I really wouldn't be able to function on that. So you went out New Year's and then you also went out last night?
I think I didn't go out last night. I was just like up and I'm like, let's like talk. And like we did until 7 a.m.
Oh, okay, so you had someone to like stay up with
Yeah,
until
I wasn't
7
doing it. I'm not crazy, Ted.
You're like meditating on 4 hours of sleep.
No. Yeah, I was talking like I was just like, let's stay up because like I don't work today and but I'm gonna feel this for about 7 days. I'm old.
Okay, so you're not old.
I'm 35.
You do not look at
Thank you. I tell people that just to hear it.
I would have said 26, 27.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
You
I
look
need
great.
to hear it.
No, come on. Thing is, like with guys, like I don't know. I used to always want to be older, but I think like guys maybe age like fine wine, right? Like
No,
you get
guys
more handsome when you get older.
So handsome. I love a guy with gray hair or like a gray in his beard.
All right.
Very,
Nice.
very hot to me.
I haven't gotten the gray situation yet. Maybe I have like one or two, but anytime
cannot
I would
relate.
see it, I would just freaking pick it.
I've had gray hair since
getting
I'm
out of there.
21.
Really?
Yeah, my mom was like fully gray by 30. So I am like, if I let my hair grow naturally, I'm like salt and pepper.
Sometimes older women will instead have their hair like purple. What is up with
I don't know what that is. That's I think so. When your hair, this is gonna be boring for your listeners.
Let's hear it.
So it's just like to tone out because sometimes gray hair could look a little like muddy. So people use like a purple shampoo to try to make it look silver, but sometimes the purple shampoo sticks.
Sometimes it looks like a good amount of the times, right?
It does. It happened to me. I was blonde, like I had my hair blonde, and I was using a purple shampoo because my hair was looking like brassy, and it's supposed to counteract it.
Brassy,
and I got out of the shower, and I was like, my hair's purple.
Do you ever get your hair blown out?
Yeah, sometimes, but not many times. I try to keep my hair as healthy as possible.
Okay, right. So like the healthy hair, I feel like guys really don't know a lot about this. I love how we're going on a tangent. I was like, Sam, we're going to start off with a hot take by you, but like, we actually got right into this. So I remember 8th grade, we were on a middle school trip, and it was like one of those sleepover nights. You know, like sometimes in middle school you go away on the field trip, whatever.
Yeah.
So I was speaking with the principal of our school. Her name was Pam Wood, and she always had like
Full
super,
name.
whatever, YOLO.
She's not watching this.
She had super straight, like silver hair.
Yeah.
And I would compliment her. I'd be like, your hair is so straight and nice. Like,
Yeah.
do you use conditioner every day? She was like, oh, Teddy, boys are not supposed to use conditioner. And I was like, what?
That's crazy.
And I've been using conditioner every day for, I don't know, I guess since I started showering by myself when I was
No,
like
you can
15 years
absolutely
old.
use conditioner. You should be using conditioner. She was
No, like every day though?
not every day.
Yeah, see, that was it. I was
yeah,
like
it makes your hair
shampoo.
greasy.
I was like shampoo and conditioner. But like I
Every
had
day?
nice little
You
flow.
shouldn't wash your hair every day either.
I didn't really know that. And still kind of, I mean, I'll put it under the water. Sometimes I won't get it wet. But I feel like when I go to the gym, I put my head on those dirty ass freaking things.
Yeah,
even though like I wipe it down before, like
it doesn't feel good. I know. When I haven't been to the gym in a really long time, but when I go, I would wash my hair because it's just gross.
What do you mean wash your hair though?
I would wash it because I feel like I would get sweaty in my hair, and then I'm like, I don't want to smell like sweat.
So you put shampoo in it
Yeah,
though?
I would wash it and condition it. And like for long hair, you can't not condition it because then I won't be able to brush through it. And I have curly hair. It's like a thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole,
I had no idea. And like guys, I think don't know really much about hair. As long as we have hair, I think we're fired up.
Yeah,
For the most part.
absolutely.
I mean, there are guys who look great bald.
Yes.
Michael Jordan.
I was actually on a kick. I was on a kick when I was single, like dating guys that were bald with big beards. I don't mind a bald man as long as you have a a If you can't grow a beard, you better go somewhere else.
Right.
You can't.
But how are you finding, if you don't mind me asking, just bald men?
I didn't.
App?
I was just on the apps, and then I was realizing, like, I was looking through my messages, and I'm like, oh my God, everyone I'm talking to is bald. But I didn't, it wasn't the thing I was going after. It was something I realized later. But now I'm dating someone who's like long hair. So who, I have no taste. My taste is everywhere.
It's different.
It doesn't matter. I'm into a vibe.
The apps for me right now, I don't know. I think I've made my selection in my head kind of just like an age bracket, but still it's not working. These apps are tough.
They're
and also
the worst.
like going on dates, it would really take a good amount of attraction, I'd say, initially on text or whatever it is to actually go on the date. Otherwise, I feel like it's kind of a waste of time.
Most of my stuff just ended in messages. I'm like, oh, this isn't fun.
Yeah. I'd say like the amount of times like I'll match with maybe, let's say 10% of the people who come. And then of that 10%, maybe 1% I'll end up going on a date with. So that ends up being like, I haven't been on a date in months.
Yeah, I would be also, I hated an app. I just feel like it's so unnatural to like meet someone like that. And I'm also, I don't go, my thing is not going after looks, right? Like I'm very much a personality person. Like I've said it a million times, like I've dated a lot of not attractive guys, but they've got good personalities. So like on an app, you can't really tell. So it was weird for me. And then it's like, I would swipe on someone and if they messaged me, I'm like, ill, I can't believe you even messaged me.
Yeah. But literally, I feel like girls, when I message them too, that's what they're thinking. Cause I'm like, what? I thought we matched. This is dope.
Then I'm like, ill, desperate.
That like dopamine rush quickly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm also like not really fully checking it out,
Yeah,
like
it's a nightmare. I thought you would. I feel like you would do so well.
My matches are good. Like I match with, I guess, like good looking girls and stuff.
You're so like,
Yeah, they don't know. They don't
know it though. It's true. They don't know it through an app. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And then they have like now you could do like voice prompts, but that's weird.
Yeah.
Do you do voice prompts?
You know what? I have to show you my app as we're talking about this. Okay, wait. Which one do you want to see though?
What are you on? Are you on Hinge and Bumble?
No, Hinge and Raya. Which
you're on
one
Raya.
do you want to see?
I want to see Raya because I've never been on Raya.
Okay, so both of them, for the most part, are like kind of promo type profiles. All right, I'll pop it up right here so you guys can see the screen record. But I want to make sure also the music is on too. Hopefully we won't get copyrighted. Okay.
Wait, that's what it's like? It's a promo. Oh, this is good. Is that you?
That's me. Julia.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Thirst trap.
There you go, being silly.
Yeah.
Singer my boys' butts. Hot dog eating.
Oh, I saw Glory there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool, right?
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, so it's basically, this is not my Hinge profile, which I'll show you. It's just straight promo. But like this is like an actual, you know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah, I would
and
be.
And then I'm like, Ted Jones World, vegan, smile, come to Ted Jones Comedy Show.
You're vegan.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm pescatarian. I've done vegan for a little bit, but.
So I was doing sushi pescatarian for probably like 2 years. And then like, I think a full year and a half ago was like the last time I really had like sushi.
That's
fish wise.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sushi is
guys,
like my
I didn't
thing.
have the microphone up. Okay, so like that's my thing, whatever. And I'll show you my.
Do you check them every day?
Profile. Yes.
You do.
Yes, and I have to put a limit on it. I had to put 30-minute limits on both of them because I'm like, we'll check the apps. I do a little research. Go back and forth. Oh, I got 4 today. It's lit. Okay,
she's pretty.
Okay, but I'll show you my view. Okay, so here's my Hinge profile. Okay, so we start off, boom, nice little, let's break the ice. Sup, yeast, sup. I don't know, right?
Just the same Twitter.
Yeah.
Love that.
I'm a regular at Ted Jones Comedy Show. DM me, Ted Jones World. Blah, blah, blah. Look.
Okay. Oh, 6'2", very important.
I go crazy for life. There you go.
Yeah.
There, Ted Jones, right? That's funny.
That is very funny. Okay. Yes.
Nice picture. Boom, boom, boom.
These are good
there
pictures. Yeah. Okay.
Go.
You seem interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very happy that you don't have a picture of like you and your mom or you and a dog. That's not yours. That's very big.
Well, why not me and my mom though?
It's every guy's doing that, and it just feels like it's an act.
The dog is an act.
The dog is crazy because you many guys I've matched with that, and they're like, "Oh, that's not my dog,"
What?
and I'm like, "Why are you posting?"
Okay, but so also I'll say girls with pictures of babies in their profile, and like they're like 32 or 33. I'm like,
are these your kids?
Yeah, and you don't know, and then it's like, oh no, it's my friends or my cousins.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say that girls, or a couple things that I would have for just this is my personal opinion. You tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I think that girls sometimes will have not enough pictures of them smiling, and then like their main picture is a picture of them with like sunglasses on or too many sunglasses. You know,
I see.
Especially person to person when you're trying to link with someone on an app, you want to know what their
look
smiles
like. Yeah.
like. You want to know what their eyes are like.
Yeah.
It's like besides that, you can do like so many pictures like this.
I also heard a lot of girls with filters.
Tons. I mean, there's a.
Let me see if I want to see if I have my dating.
You make your profile, profile picture, whatever, like the best you can.
Yeah, I guess. I'm not
a little
big on,
deceiving.
I'm against the filter. You'll never see me with the filter because it makes me feel bad about myself. I'm trying to see if I still have my apps.
But I hear what you're saying, but like, don't you feel like every girl does filter? Or every person does filter?
I hate it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I don't do it because I just feel like it's silly, and I'm like, I don't want. No, I think I've gotten rid
I think
of my
like
apps.
you and I also though, like we started on the apps before there was really people doing the filters. Or actually, I guess when Instagram fully started, it was like all filters.
It was
that's
all
what you used. But like
Instagram was-
now it's become more like filters
yeah,
for your features.
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like a filter was like a color scheme.
That's when now
it's
like the younger girls and the younger guys, I think, are using a little
it's
filters
weird.
and stuff.
It's weird to me because it's like I have when it first started. I remember like on Snapchat, it's kind of where it started. It was like a beauty filter, and I never put it on. I was like, oh, I feel when I came off, I was like, I feel terrible. I look horrible.
It's so different.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's just I don't want to see that. I don't want to know what I could look like. That's crazy. That makes me feel terrible about myself.
Hot take.
Yes, that is a hot take. I think people know that filters are like ruining self-image.
True. But let's get to your hot take.
Oh, my hot take. So I have a couple hot takes. I don't know
Yeah.
where. Do you want to do a pop culture hot take?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
This is going to be a ridiculous hot take. I think that the Bravo universe, like Real Housewives and all that stuff, is bigger than like Marvel. Bigger and better than Marvel. Than like the Marvel universe.
By like eyes on it, or you mean just like
I just think like it's bigger.
if you watch one Bravo show, you watch another Bravo show. Is that what you mean?
I think like, people are like big into Marvel and they like, go to the movies and stuff, and that's great. But I think that people overlook Housewives and all that stuff. It is a huge market, and I feel like a lot of men will be like, no, it's not. And it's like there's BravoCon. There's like Comic-Con, there's BravoCon. And I think it's better. Not only do I think more people are watching it, I think it's better.
What's your favorite show on it?
Real Housewives of Atlanta is my number one. It's the best.
They're the best Housewives?
They are absolutely the best.
Which one was the first one? Was it LA?
No, Real Housewives of Orange County, which is like such a boring one.
Okay.
Yeah, they like set it up. They were the start, and then I think Jersey might have been next, and then Atlanta. I know Atlanta was one of the first ones, and it's the best. It's fantastic.
It's also a really good idea because you could just expand to every
everywhere.
city in the country. I used to watch a lot of Below Deck, actually. Like
my mom. I don't watch Below Deck, but my mom will watch any reality show. Okay. But yeah, she loves that. But my friends have done like Yacht Week and stuff, which is like, I mean, it's not the same.
What do you mean? Like they went to Monaco?
Yeah, there's like they do Yacht Week in like different places. So like they do it in like Greece, or they do it. Yeah, they do it in Turks and Caicos and stuff, and then you kind of just like get on a yacht and go. I've not done it.
Friends buy it? Buy it?
No, none of my friends are poor.
Okay.
But they
so they chartered it.
They chartered it, yeah. So they do the yacht week, and then I remember like them asking me to go, but they were getting like the world's smallest yachts, and they were like, "It's gonna be like 10 of us," and then they showed me the size of the yacht. And I was like, "Count me out."
Oh my gosh, I hate to say it, and I hate to be so spoiled in saying it, but like,
it's never. For me.
If it's under 100 feet, I don't want to go on it. Okay, I'm just saying, like, there's too many variables. Okay.
One thing about me, I've never been on a yacht.
I'm not going.
But I'm not going to go on one and be smushed with all my friends just to say I've been on a yacht.
Okay, so like 8 years ago, one of my friends was dating this like very wealthy family, this girl. So they invited us down to St. Bart's, and I spent 4 nights on their yacht. And it was 200 feet. We were docked next to P. Diddy. I've never talked about this.
Oh my God.
On the podcast. Yeah.
Super cool.
So that was, I think, my vision into seeing all these things that are possible in the world. And it was just like, this is incredible. I can't believe this exists. Like waking up on the yacht and I was like, the water's so blue. Like the mountains are so beautiful. Like, people live like this? This
I know.
like
how big was Diddy's yacht?
It was the same size as ours, docked right next to it. It was 200 feet. Yeah, so it wasn't that big. There are way bigger yachts down there in St. Bart's. We were talking like 400 footers.
Not P. Diddy having just a 200
feet. So for those 4 nights, it's probably, especially around like New Year's when we went for a 200-foot yacht, it's around 150K a night.
Holy shit.
So you get like, sleeps 12, you get like 11 people. So it was 4 of them and then like another 4 of us.
Holy shit.
On the yacht. So
no, my
like
friends were
people,
not like on one. I remember watching Below Deck with my best friend, and I was like, is this what Yacht Week was like? He's like, bitch. He's like, I love that you think that's what we were doing. He was like, no, it was more like a paddle boat. That they call a yacht.
Yeah, it was crazy. And speaking of Below Deck, I remember like I was posting pictures of that like on Facebook, and one of the people from Below Deck reached out to me, a producer, to like be on the yacht, and we're going to give us a discount for like 4 days. It was still ridiculous.
Absolutely,
it was still like from 75,000 a night to like 50,000 a night. They were going to give us a discount. We were like, we are 23 years old.
Yeah, absolutely not.
We're good. Unless if you want to cover it, sure, we'll be the guest on the Below Deck.
But I'm not paying.
Yeah, so that was just like a crazy moment in time, and yeah, that was like around the time when I was like, oh, this is pretty realistic for like Below Deck. So those things kind of coincided.
That's super cool.
random that came to.
Yeah. That's so cool. It's literally I want to be on a reality show, but like in the backgrounds. Like I don't want to be like because I'm not about drama, but I think I would be funny and like.
And you can also like prop it up a little bit. I feel like you have that like New York attitude.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know where you're from. Are you from New York?
I'm from Lower East Side. I'm from like born and raised.
Okay.
But yeah.
Me too, born and raised.
Yeah, where?
That's amazing that like
you never hear.
Came out. 6 weeks actually. Okay, fine, fair enough. I was born in New Brunswick. Then when I was 6 weeks old, I moved to 18th between 2nd and 3rd.
Okay.
And then have lived in Manhattan. And well, I went to college for 4 years at UConn. Yeah. I've been here ever since.
Yeah, that's. I love that. I feel like every time I tell people, they're like, what?
Ever.
Yeah. And then like every time I'm like Lower East Side, they're like, well, where are you really from? And I'm like, Lower East Side. Yeah, and everyone's always like, it must have been so cool growing up there. I'm like, the city was different when I was growing up. Like the Lower East Side wasn't.
Lower East Side, no offense.
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah, like it was like we lived there because it was like inexpensive. Now it's like everybody wants to live there.
Right. Do you live in an apartment or like?
Yeah, I lived in an apartment. Yeah, I lived in an apartment. My parents are still in that apartment. Now great. I live like down by Chinatown.
Okay, so let's talk about you being on a reality show then.
Yes.
Would you want it to be related to your comedy also? Following you around doing comedy?
Me and Derek Drescher were just talking about, he's like, because I was talking about reality TV, he's like, you should like write a show about, because I think the comedy scene is something that people are not aware of. It's almost like being in college. Like you walk around, you're always seeing people. Like it doesn't matter where I am in the city, I'm running into a comic.
It's wild.
It's
like
so
if you're
wild.
on McDougal Street, like we'll guarantee you and I are on McDougal Street, like we'll see at least 4 or 5 comics.
100%. Or like I'll be on the train. I was like, I never take the bus. And I got on the bus and I saw a comic got on the bus with me. It's like,
oh no, down to Lower East Side?
Yeah, it was. He got on House and I was down from that, and then we rode it all the way up because we were going to a different comedy shows, but in different. I was going to the comic strip. I forget where he was going, but it's like you always run into people. I'm like, this would be a perfect reality show because it's like people date within comedy, and it's like oh my god, I'm here and I don't want to see this guy.
And it's definitely behind the scenes new type show. I feel like that's never been done.
Never been done. I know. I feel like it would be so great. And I also, for me, I'm not about the drama, but I feel like I don't want to be like the main person, but I want to be the person in the back that's saying like little funny things here and they're like coming in and being ridiculous, and then I get out.
Realistically, the way to do it would be for them to follow around like 5 to 7 comics. Yeah. And then like it would be so easy to make like entertaining TV like that.
Absolutely. And it's such a fun business. I mean, it will, when you bomb, you want to kill yourself, but but it is, for the most part, it's fun. And like meeting people of all different walks of life, like it's really awesome. Like Derek Drescher, for instance, like I've never been around somebody who's an ex.
Yeah, he was on the couch, by the way. I forget which episode we'll pop it up here, but he went to jail for 3 years and he was chilling here.
He's been arrested 30 something times.
I've never put away all my valuables. I was like, I don't want him to steal it. I'm just kidding, buddy. I didn't do that. I'm just kidding.
I told him the same thing when he came to my house. I was like, I don't have any cash here.
Him and Gio came. I was like, all right, let me put everything away.
He was like, there's no cash in this house.
Yeah, it's so funny. But it's ridiculous. Yeah, we meet people of all walks of life, and then on the podcast and just talking at comedy clubs in general. Where did you go to high school?
I went to Catholic school my whole life.
Oh, yeah. What school?
So I went to Immaculate Conception for elementary school, and then high school I went to St. Vincent Ferrer, which was on 65th between 3rd and Lex.
I think I've seen that. I went to high school on 60th between Columbus and Amsterdam.
Okay, so you were like on the west side.
Yeah. Professional children's school. But then where did you go to college?
So I only went to community college, and then I dropped out and I did hair for a while.
What's hair?
I went to cosmetology. I went to beauty school, cosmetology school.
So you know about it.
Yeah. I went to school for it, and then I did that for years, and then stopped doing that. Then went to real estate school, and I've been in real estate since.
Oh, amazing. So I used to work in real estate for like 6.5 years. Yeah. I worked at my dad's company.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
full time. That's
great that you worked with your dad, because it's different when you work for these other people.
Yeah, and it became such a place of comfort for me that like I started to hate it, because I was just like, there's really not a lot expected of me, and I was like my dad's company, and I was kind of waiting like, all right, when am I gonna be head of this company? Like when I'm 40 years old. So I was like, I'm not waiting for that shit. Started to get involved in comedy way more seriously. And now here we are.
Yeah, I've been in real estate for 9 years.
So what are you, a broker?
So so I was doing property management for 7 years.
Freaking doing. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
I hated it
because like I had to play the bad guy. Yeah, I'm sure you felt the same thing.
And I hate that. And that's not my person. It's like anytime I pick up the phone and they're like, and another thing, like everyone's yelling at you.
And another thing.
Like you slumlord, and it's like, okay. I mean, what are we talking about? But it was like I did that, and that was soul crushing. for like 7 years. And then I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm a people person and I want to be the other end of like helping people find apartments where they're happy. So that's what I do now. So I work under a broker. I'm an agent and I, do showings and
you do
all
rentals?
That stuff. We do sales in the Upper West.
Okay. How has the market kind of shifted within like the last, I guess, 6 months since those interest rates went up, right?
So I started working with him specifically in September and things were great. And then they kind of just completely, I want to say November was like, we had like 3 showings.
Right, like
November.
also, I don't know. I feel like renting is just the move nowadays.
Yeah.
Just being able to be mobile, not having to worry about anything.
And it's like such a commitment to sit in this thing. And then it's like, you don't know what's going to happen. And also like, people buy in your, it doesn't matter how big your apartment is. I mean, I guess it does. If you're, you can afford like a huge apartment, but it's like, get a house if you're going to, this is like, I don't know. I just feel like people buy apartments and like, it's too small. It's like, yeah, of course. And you spent all this money on it.
Yeah, you put your like almost entire life savings, usually most people, to put down 20%, and then you're still paying throughout the roof each month.
God, it's insane. And then it's just like, it's also then to do anything in your apartment, you have to get like board approval and stuff, and it's just a pain in the ass. Yeah. Unless you're my client, then it's like, buy it. It's great. Oh my God. Buying in the city is the best.
We have to beep it out. She loves New York City real estate. So in Manhattan, like Brooklyn, all over the place?
I do Upper West.
Okay.
Upper West Side is like where we have something, one apartment. We actually do one rental on the East Side, but everything else is like sales on the Upper West.
Do you still have a lot of friends in the city?
Yeah, most of my friends have like gone to like, buy houses in like Long Island and stuff, but all my single friends are still in the city.
Would you ever do that, buy a house in Long Island?
Yeah, probably.
Interesting.
I didn't think I would, but
you'd rather have twice the space. Or 3 times the space.
I grew up in an apartment and I've always I romanticize like suburban life.
Really?
Yeah.
What, did you have that experience growing up as a kid or?
No, I didn't. And like, I just want like the school bus. Like when I have kids, I want them to have things I didn't have. Like the guy I'm dating now, JC, he was on the show.
He's on the pod.
He I'll be like, did you ride bikes like to your friend's house? Like I want to know, like, did you ride bikes to school? Like, the reason I said Long Island, he grew up in Long Island.
And he had the nice, I think, like soccer experience in high school, big crowds and stuff, like Friday night games.
Yeah, and then his whole, no, it's fine. His sisters like played soccer, so like I spent like Christmas Eve with his family, like hearing them talk about all their soccer games. Like I played softball for like majority of my life, but like it was different, it's not the same. And like I feel like in towns like that, like everyone comes out to see those games.
Yeah,
like no one gives a shit about
super fun.
Yeah, no one gives a shit about Little League in the city.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
know. So like I ended up going to UConn, which I said earlier, which is a massive sports school, and like anybody who lived in Connecticut wanted to go to UConn.
Yeah.
So I ended up playing tennis at UConn. But like the reason I went there was just because of the notoriety of these sports teams and how good they were.
Yeah.
And being a tennis player in New York City, I never really had the opportunity to like play outside on the playground where like everybody in the neighborhood is watching me.
No one gives a shit. Too much is happening in the city.
So it was just like whenever I was in the bubble in like Long Island City, I'd like try and get girls on like the court over to watch me and be like,
look at me.
Like making noise and stuff like that. But it really changed once I got to UConn, and just the environment where you see people walking by every day is nice.
Yeah,
it's like comedy environment, exactly. To circle back.
Yeah, it's like that. But yeah, I didn't have that, and I always wanted that. I wanted like that suburban life kind of thing. And then I always would never move to Long Island, but JC's from Long Island, and he was like, I want to go back to. I'm like, I guess I was more like I would go Jersey. Because I just hate the traffic for Long Island. I just feel like it's always a nightmare.
I feel like it's probably kind of similar.
I feel like getting out of the city is a nightmare to go to Jersey, but like I feel like it's not as Long Island is a nightmare.
Well, also being down in the Lower East Side, it's like a little bit easier. You just take the Holland Tunnel.
Exactly.
I guess. But Long Island, yes, sometimes is a legitimate nightmare.
It's there. You will be like, it's like you're basically parked on the highway.
Especially from like the Grand Central Parkway, where like they have that exit from JFK until like exit 35
you're
or 40.
Not moving.
Like at least like 30 minutes
Yeah,
there.
but they do have the LIRR, which is usually pretty great. And it's on time and stuff. And I don't mind it because it's cleaner than like the MTA. And it's, you're on an actual schedule, where the MTA is like, you're at their mercy. The LIRR is fine. But I guess, I'll be a Long Island Sure, I'll be on. Maybe they'll do Housewives of Long Island, and you'll see me on there.
There you go. Amazing. All right, let's talk about your comedy show.
Yes.
23 and 1.
23 and 1.
At the Stand. How did you get involved with former guests here, Derek and Gio, to put that show together?
So they actually started the show before me, like a year before I met them. So they're both two ex-convicts, and they're both recovering heroin addicts. So both. Yeah.
Well, I thought I didn't know Gio was an addict like that.
Yeah, he was too.
I knew he did like cocaine and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, he did heroin for a while. I don't think as long as Derek. I might be wrong, but
Derek
I think
was like the OG.
Yeah.
Guy.
So they both did that, and they both cleaned up, and then they found each other in comedy.
Beautiful.
And they're like, like such a happy couple. So they did their thing, and then as I was in the comedy scene, I would be around them a lot. And we just got along really well. And then they like told me to come to the Stand one day. They're like, maybe we want to talk to you. And then with them, I was like, I'm about to be killed.
It's a mafia meeting.
Yeah, I was like, what's about to happen?
Make you a made woman, though.
Yeah. So then they were like, we want you to join the show. We think we need like a woman's touch on the show. And they're like, I think your energy would complement us really well. And it has. It's been really great because it's like, they're funny and everything, but there's nothing for the ladies there. And I feel like it's our banter, the three of us, is very funny because it's like the life that they have lived, I have never. I mean, never. Like our joke all the time, they're like, they're so like, I would, ride or die. And like, I wouldn't tell them, like, I will snitch on you guys in a second. Don't do anything illegal around me because I'm never going to prison. Like I think I told them like we were doing a podcast and I was like, if you guys ever did something illegal around me and the cops knocked on my door, I would tell them exactly where you live.
Yeah.
I'd be like, these guys? Oh yeah, I don't know them at all. Yeah, I've been scared my whole time being around them. I will throw you right under the bus. I'm not meant for that.
Where are your parents from?
Like they grew up in New York as well.
Yeah.
My mom born and raised in Lower East Side as well. My dad Spanish Harlem.
Okay, so fully New York.
Fully New York, and then my mom's parents also fully New York. My mom's parents, Little Italy, they grew up in because my mom's Italian. And then their parents, so my great grandparents came from Italy.
How have you seen the city change so far, like over the, since you've been there in the Lower East Side and changing now, just besides like the obvious things like, I guess more people coming in. I don't want to say like diversification, saying it like that, but what has been like the main difference that you've seen, and also like comedy wise too, being here for so long? Yeah,
so I think in the neighborhood that I grew up in was more like a lot of mom and pop shops. It was like small businesses, and now you don't see that really at all anywhere. And then just also like the Lower East Side now is like where everyone goes out to party, but it was like family. Like I grew up it was a lot of families there, and now that's not really the case. It's like young kids that come out of college and live there, and I would say like the age bracket of the Lower East Side is now like probably like 20s to early 30s, and usually people don't want to be there after that because it's so party.
Are the apartments smaller now?
Yeah, they have like cut them up 100%.
That's what I'm thinking.
They're they were always kind of small. Like I grew up like in a bigger building, so I didn't live in like a tenement, but it's a lot of tenement buildings and they're railroad apartments and stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of like my family that lived there lived in like tiny apartments with that, that's all they knew. So it didn't affect them, at all. But now I'm like, I think about it now that I'm getting older and I think about having kids. I'm like, I could never. Like, I know so many people that like families that lived in like a 1-bedroom, which is crazy.
But back then it was still difficult to do.
Yeah, it was they made it work, but I just don't know how they did it. But I guess it was, the Lower East Side, you were there because you were just trying to like save up money and stuff, but now it's like so expensive.
I remember I used to see apartments like that where there would just be a makeshift wooden wall or like beads in between the kids and the parents sleeping. Yeah, stuff like that. I'm sure
their relationship was great. Those parents.
Well, I mean, like you see apartments that I guess some comics like live in Washington Heights, and it's nice to see that they've still kept the size for those apartments. But in general, I mean, living in New York City, it's going to be like at least 2 to 3x smaller than any place you probably grew up, unless you grew up in the city.
100% like us, yeah. But uptown is true. Like uptown departments are usually way bigger, which is nice. But then it's just the traveling is a nightmare.
Where's the most affordable place to be in New York City right now?
In the whole city?
Yeah, sure. Not Brooklyn, excuse me, Manhattan.
Oh, in Manhattan, I would say probably like further uptown, like Dykeman or like Inwood is probably the cheapest because it's the furthest away.
What about below? Maybe like Harlem and below. 125th and below.
Well, probably around 125th, but I would say Spanish Harlem actually, like East Harlem is very inexpensive, but it's also like very, very high crime.
And then does it go down to like the Upper East Side?
Yeah, so like like the East Harlem goes down to like Upper East, and
I mean like cheapness wise.
Cheapness, yeah. Then Upper East, yeah, because there's only like one train there that they just built, the Q, and it doesn't even go all the way up, right?
Yeah,
I think it stopped. I forget where it stops.
I thought that they were going to build it all the way up.
They were supposed to,
or
and
maybe
then
go down to 14th Street.
It does go to 14th Street, but now it goes west. It doesn't even go to the East Side until like 60 something Street. I think it only goes up to like 80th.
So they were supposed to make it bigger though, no?
Yeah, it was supposed to go the whole East Side, and
What
they
happened?
did. I think they ran out of money.
Yeah.
Because the Q, they were talking about that train line from when I was like in 8th grade.
I remember that. I was fired up about
Yeah,
the
I was
Q
like, oh
too.
my
I was like, because
God.
I lived on 2nd Avenue. I was
Yeah,
like, are
I
they
was
gonna
like,
have a
this is-
stop on 18th Street?
Yeah,
No.
then
Which
nev-
theoretically maybe they were going to do that, like the one train kind of. Maybe
Yeah,
they're gonna have
yeah.
the same thing on the East Side.
Yeah, but
which is a good idea.
It would be a great idea, but they
Yeah.
just never did it.
It's
But-
like a lot of money. And also,
Well,
maybe,
it's
maybe
so
you know,
expensive.
being in real estate, some of these developers during the Great Depression, speaking of running out of money, were planning on building 70-story buildings, and then they ran out of money during the Great Depression at like floor 50. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So they couldn't finish the building. So some of the buildings in New York just like look like they should be taller.
yeah, they're like
It's like the
undone.
unfinished
yeah,
projects.
uh-huh.
It's crazy how tall they're building these buildings in New York City. I'm not sure if you
gosh.
saw the listing that Ryan Searant is listing, the $250 million apartment in Central Park Tower. 1,500 feet or 1,460 feet in the air for that like 20,000 square foot apartment. It's just like you're above sound.
That's
So
crazy.
all you hear is wind, and there are planes like taking off, and helicopters are flying below you.
No, thank you.
It's insane.
Because you know what I always think of? Like, what if there's like a blackout? How the hell are you getting up to your apartment?
I would assume they probably have like generators though. For
I'm
those
sure, that's
insane
true.
You know, if you're spending 200 mil, they better have a
They
freaking
better.
generator for me, okay?
Absolutely. But I always think about it when I say like tall buildings. I'm like, oh my god. So I live down like by the seaport, and they built this huge building, such an eyesore. It's right by it's one Manhattan Square.
Yeah.
So it's so big,
It's like
and
one
it's
of the bachelors was living there. I
yes,
think,
he
to
was. And it was a
promote
big. It was literally my claim to fame. I was like, he lives down the street from me. I was so excited about that because nothing's happening in that neighborhood. But so they built that building, and they built that building. Before that building was a Pathmark that got completely flooded by Hurricane Sandy.
What was a Pathmark again? Was that grocery store?
Grocery store, yeah. And
Okay.
it was like so I grew up like further up in the Lower East Side, and my grandfather would drive down to that Pathmark because it was like as big as like a supermarket that was in the suburbs.
It's
It
also
was-
like on a hill too, right?
yeah, it was huge. It was like if you went to the suburbs to a grocery store. So my grandfather would like drive. They had a parking lot. Like it was like you never see that in the city. But it got flooded and totally ruined by Hurricane Sandy. And that area is a flood zone. Like where I live was on generators for like 3 years after Hurricane Sandy. So this big ass building, I'm like, they better have the world's best generators in there because it's right on the water. And I'm like, all these people that live, it's 72 stories high.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going to happen? Because it's like, the river rises even during a regular rain.
And also the water is literally right there.
Yeah. And like, even if it rains a
100
little bit
feet,
hard,
it's
like
like-
you can't walk by the water because the river has overflowed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure they figured it out, but
So I remember I went down there and I was thinking how nice it is, but I
It's
didn't
beautiful.
really think about that.
yeah, but it's, I'm like,
just
that's
super low.
It's so low. And literally what was there before flooded because Hurricane Sandy. That's why they shut it down. And then they built that building. So I'm like, I mean, I'm sure they figured it out.
Right, like the thought of being that high, I think just like heights wise, I didn't fuck with. You know, like
I
being
don't
up
like it.
1,500. I don't.
It's
like
not for
heights
me.
at all. Do you like
I
heights?
hate heights.
You never skydive?
And you'll never catch me doing
I don't know.
it.
Maybe I would. You know, for the
I never say
vlog,
never.
but-
I never say never, but I
Besides
also
that.
feel like it's a never. I'm scared on a plane anyway. Like I'll do it. I
Yeah.
travel, but I'm like very stiff the whole way.
What's the scariest part for you though? Being up and like cruising, or that in the takeoff
all of
and
it.
the landing?
Really, I don't like any of it.
Yeah,
the entire time, I'm like this is unnatural. My feet should be on the ground.
The whole process before getting on the plane, I hate. But once I'm on the plane, I'm cool. I don't like the freaking go in, then you got to check in.
Oh, I hate it
and then you
all.
gotta- This
And I always
is
feel like
why
I'm doing
I
something
only
illegal,
fly
even though I'm
private.
not.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, when they're
Freaking
like-
gotta take off my fucking shoes
Yeah.
and shit that
Or
I
when
put in my travel number.
I see them like my bag will go through security and then they'll pull it back through and I'm like, did I leave something?
Did
Did I put my
weed
guns in there?
You have drugs for the
Yeah.
23-in-1 show?
Yeah, like, oh my God. Like, I always get so nervous. It's I have such high anxiety anyway, so being in the airport is always just like a nightmare for me. I'm like, let me get to my destination. I am going to a wedding in April and it's in Tulum, so you have to like land and then,
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, and then drive 2.5 hours.
And then drive 2.5 hours and I'm already, I have such anxiety about it already. And it's in April. And I'm already like, oh my God, that day is going to be, I'm going to have to take an edible or something.
Are you excited about that wedding?
Yeah, it's going to be it's one of my best friends.
Okay.
And she's marrying my other best friend's brother. So it's going to be so much fun.
That's beautiful. See, sometimes when you're going to destination weddings and you don't even want to go to the wedding in general, it's like, I don't want to spend $2,500 on a wedding that I don't want to go to.
Yeah. No, she's one of my best. I'm super excited. Good. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for her. It's going to end. Tulum's beautiful.
Yeah,
so,
beautiful.
Yeah, I've been before, so I know it's going to be great. And it's going to be great. But I'm just already the travel. I'm like...
So what are you looking forward to this year now that it's 2023?
2023, our second day.
Well, as we are releasing this, it is this Thursday. I'm like confusing that, but 5th. It's Thursday, the 5th.
My niece's birthday.
Okay,
that's how I know. You were like, how do you know that?
January 5th.
My niece will be 3.
What's up? Happy birthday to your niece.
Yes.
What's on tap this year for you that you can talk about or that you know so far?
So me and Derek also started another show. We're doing a weekly show. It's like lower stakes than our 23-in-1 show. It's a weekly show. We do it at Con Body, which he works at, which is a gym that they hire ex-convicts as well. And it's prison workout, like prison boot camp workouts.
Are you doing a comedy show there?
And we do a comedy show there every Friday, and it's in the Lower East Side, so it's called Let's Get It, like LES Get It.
Dope.
Yeah.
When did you guys start that?
Like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
So it's fun and it's low stakes. We wanted to create a show for us to like work on material and like just be able to put our friends on it and stuff. So we'll get you on. It's great. And like, it feels really fun to do it. So we're doing that. I'm excited about that. 23-in-1. Also, we want to do like kind of take it on the road, see if we could like take it to like Albany and do like little, take the show on the road and see how that goes. I had a podcast. I stopped doing it, but I want to do that again. So that'll be that. And I just want to, continue. My goal for this year is to write another solid 10 minutes for the stage. So that's what's on the agenda.
Amazing.
We'll
have you ever spent any time traveling in and out of the States? Maybe when you were doing comedy, real estate?
No, I haven't left New York to do comedy yet. I mean, I went to Jersey, but that doesn't count.
But Jersey counts.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Across state lines.
Right.
Yeah. But no, I haven't done. That's what I want to do this year. I want to like take it on the road because I want to know that my material hits outside of New York.
And it will. It'll hit even harder. New York.
That's what everybody says. But I get so nervous.
New York comedy people are sometimes a little snobby because they're experienced viewers, and
they're seeing like they're seeing
what I mean?
So
like
much.
If you're going to Des Moines, Iowa, like they are there. For the first time this year, they're ready to see comedy.
Exactly.
They haven't gone every night this week.
My oldest brother lives in Pensacola, Florida, and he was like, "We're dying for comedy there."
Where is that in Florida?
It's the Panhandle.
So like up near Panama Beach, kind of.
I don't know where Panama Beach. He lives closer to Alabama than he does to like anything else. Yeah. Because he was in the Navy and that's where he got stationed, and then he ended up like loving it. So he's been there. He hasn't been in the Navy in like 10 years, but he's been there since. But he was like, there's no comedy clubs. So like anytime anybody comes to town, it's such an exciting thing because they don't have it.
Well, where do they perform if they don't have it? There's a big college there, so they have like something there, or they drive out to Mobile, Alabama. Yeah. Is that the capital? It might be.
I think it is, and so that's like an hour drive from them. Or they drive. My brother and my sister-in-law will drive down to like Tampa to like catch shows and stuff. Or New Orleans is like 2 hours or 3 hours from them.
Do you know how to drive?
I just learned a year ago.
Let's go. No. Amazing. Nice.
I don't trust myself. I haven't driven since I passed the test.
Where did you take the test? Bronx?
No,
Riverhead?
in
or like downtown?
No, Red Hook. In Red Hook.
Okay.
Red Hook, Brooklyn. Yeah.
You just really didn't need to know how to learn how to drive.
I never felt the need to, but then like during the pandemic, I was having like, I need to get my life together and be an independent woman and like not rely on somebody to have to do something. Cause I would always think like, what if I'm out with somebody and like they get sick and I have to drive them somewhere? I wouldn't know how to do it. Like I was so dumb to driving. I didn't know which was the gas and which was the brake.
Until like a year ago?
Literally. Well, now at this point, so June that just passed would have been a year that I passed my test. So it's like in like a year and a half. But I haven't driven since I passed my test. So
well, but at least you got out and like
I did it. I took like lessons and I was like, great. I need to know how to do this.
The first time I took the test, I failed. I was just so freaking nervous.
Was so
and
nervous.
Like the guy or forget if it was a guy or girl who's giving me the test was so mean.
They're
so
like, I feel like they're trying to be mean.
And I brought my grandmother's like old Mercedes, like a used Mercedes, and I don't think he liked that. He's like, who's this fucking kid bringing his mother's Mercedes here? I was like, sorry, dude.
Wait, the school that I went to, we learned how to drive in like a Mercedes SUV. So that's what I passed.
I learned how to drive, or I was driving right around the Lower East Side. Is that where you were
that's
driving?
where I was driving too.
Yeah.
And he was like, if you can learn here, you'll learn, because people don't.
That's what I thought.
People are like jaywalking, and you're in it's a nightmare. So I learned there, and like, you know, I mean, I can do it. I don't know that well.
Yeah, I went to Riverhead and I failed after having those classes.
Yeah.
But then I took it again like a month later as an 18-year-old, and I got it.
And you got it.
It was fresh.
I passed in the first time, but I was like physically shaking. Like I remember she got in the car and like I could feel my hands on the wheel like shaking, and I was like, I have such bad anxiety.
Well, was she nice at least?
She was, you know, she gave me nothing, and I'm also like, I am a very friendly person.
Yeah.
So
Hi,
she had
how
like
you
beautiful
doing?
glasses on, and I wanted to compliment her glasses, but I was like, I'm gonna wait till it's over. So then when it was over, she was like, okay, thank you, and then I was like, I love your glasses.
Right before she did the check marks?
Yeah, but then she also got out of the car and didn't tell me if I passed or failed. So then I was like, I don't know what, and it's such an annoying thing. And then she told like my instructor, like, oh, she passed. And I was like, why could she?
They definitely love having like
They
an
love
ounce
that
of
power.
mysteriousness.
Yeah, they love that
power.
thing. They're like, yeah, well, you'll see. And then, then she told my instructor, and he gave me like the temporary, like it's like a paper or whatever.
What did you use for ID for so long?
Just a New York State ID. Yeah. And then I got my permit like 6 years ago, and it expired. I just let it expire.
well,
and never
permit. So you took the written test.
You had to take the written test.
But you didn't know which one was the gas or the brake?
Yeah, like I was
the written
lost.
test? Well, they don't ask you
They
that.
don't ask you that. They ask you like if there's no thing like how to put your arm out to tell people you're turning, which like, what are the chances?
All this shit that you don't even need to know. It's like taxes in school. They need to implement
They need
teaching,
to.
right?
Yeah. What I don't even remember some of the stuff we were learning in school. Like where was I? Where am I using trigonometry?
Shit, yeah.
Yeah. Why? I've never used trigonometry in my. I will never need to know that.
Sometimes I'll need to know the math when I'm waiting for the train, as we were talking about the trains. Freaking
Yeah, well, like algebra is needed, but like trigonometry, I was struggling so much. I was like, this is like another language. It's like you're teaching me Mandarin. I don't know what this is, and I never needed to know it.
The only way I got an A in statistics in college was because I knew that each person would have a test. It was like version A, B, and C, and I would just look at the kid like to this direction who had the same C version of the test with me, and I would just get whatever he got on the test, and I got an A, which is fresh.
Yeah, I didn't know anything.
College,
I was like, some of those things, I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Why are you teaching me this?
Did you like any subjects in school?
I was big history. I loved history. I loved it. I was not a math girl. And then like English, like I can write really well. And I've always loved to do that. So that was really fun for me.
Do you think that's what got you into comedy?
No, I don't know. I actually never put two and two together. Like I would like write stories, and I was really write poetry and stuff, but like I didn't put two and two together until like I started doing sketches online. Yeah. And then people were like, oh, you write well. And I was like, oh, I guess this is a form of writing. Like I didn't even really put it together. It was something that came so natural to me that I didn't even think about it. And then once I did sketches, and I was like, I guess I should take this to the stage and like write about shit that's happening in my life. And I did. And it's been great. But yeah, I didn't put two and two together.
Second hot take before we get out of here.
Second hot take. This is just a basic one, but I think, and I don't know if this is I think people who drink tea just like attention.
Instead of coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It
doesn't do anything.
It's so, I hate, people are like, I just love tea. I'm like, you like attention.
Yeah, it's because they don't like coffee.
You want to sound better than me, and you're
exactly.
not. I don't get it at all. Thank you.
How many coffees a day do you have?
A lot.
Iced or hot?
I like iced when it's warm out.
So you're weather based. Okay.
I'm weather based. I was like a little coffee snob because I've been drinking coffee since I'm like 3.
How?
So like strong coffee. So I'm Italian and Puerto Rican. But it's like, so if you're drinking it, like for Spanish people, it's café con leche, and it's like very strong coffee. And then Italian, like espresso coffee, my grandma would make me, and I would dip like my toast in it. And my mom would I was just telling the story the other day, my mom would drop off my brother at school, and I would stay with my grandmother because I was younger, and I was in preschool, so it was a different schedule. And my mom would drop my brother off and be like to my grandma, like, when I leave, do not give Samantha any coffee. And my grandma would be like, sure. And then my mom would leave, and she'd be like, a little coffee with your toast? And I'm like, of course. So I've been drinking it forever. So I would only have hot coffee, and then I love a Starbucks, and I had like an iced coffee, and I was like, oh, this changed the game. I love an iced coffee, but it has to be weather-based because I'm not trying to freeze.
Yeah, I haven't switched to the hot yet. I really only do the hot coffee when it gets really cold.
Really
out.
cold,
Which I don't know. Is he gonna get really cold
Well,
out?
it was for Christmas.
Yeah. That was just like
It's like 11 degrees. That was a nightmare. But I love it being cold, and I have I love a coffee experience. Having like a hot coffee just feels good.
Yeah, anything above, I'd say like anything above 30 degrees, I could do iced. But then I think once it dips below that,
Today's a nice coffee day because it's a beautiful day.
It is a nice day.
It's like 50
Little
something
cloudy,
degrees.
but yes,
yeah, a little cloudy, but I'll take it because it was raining and gross the last few days. But yeah.
Absolutely. Sam, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. This was amazing. Sam Santos, guys, check out our show 23&1. And Sam, we're going to pop up your Instagram right here. So please shout it out.
Yes, it is Make Me Laugh Sam. And that's on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter.
Absolutely. Yes. Sam, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. We'll get you on the Ted Jones Comedy Show when we get dates. Okay, guys? Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.